God began tugging at our hearts and planted a seed for missions that we had no idea would grow and develop into this. We are the Rainey family. I'm Casey and my husband Wade. We have 3 children. Mason, who is our oldest daughter, she's 10 years old. Mills, our middle daughter, who is 8 years old. And Madden, our youngest little boy, who is 7. We are currently living and serving in the Dominican Republic as missionaries. And our journey to this place began 10 years ago. We arrived in the Dominican Republic in August of 2023, and our kids started school at Las Palmas Christian School, which has been a huge blessing for our family. They are there with kids each day, and they are learning and growing and doing the normal things that you would do in school, but they also have an opportunity to walk alongside other kids who are coming to know Christ. They've learned and grown so much, and they've built sweet relationships with new friends and experienced new things, and watching God grow in their hearts has really been something special.
The Dominican Republic is located on the island of Hispaniola. It borders Haiti. San Pedro de Marcois is in the southeastern corner on the coast. We're about an hour east of the capital of Santo Domingo. The national religion of the Dominican Republic is Roman Catholicism, and that religion influences culture so much here and has for so many years. You will meet many people who say that they are Catholic, but most of the time they do not have a relationship with Jesus. They most likely don't attend church, but they would all say that they're Catholic. One huge aspect of our ministry here and focus is discipleship, because so many people here don't have that personal relationship with Jesus.
One thing we're realizing that's a big gap because of the national religion being Roman Catholic is the understanding of grace. And so one thing we really try hard to extend and to educate people on is that Jesus died for all of us, and we're all sinners, and we all need his grace. Our church here in San Pedro de Marcois is EBAM. It is kind of the foundation for all of our ministries. It was the first location for ministry here, and it is the home base for which all the other ministries extend out into the community. It's an incredible place, and we are watching people grow in their faith. We are experiencing God move in new and incredible ways, and really just feeling at home with this new church family, in this new country, in this new place.
So coming to the Dominican Republic, I felt like God had called us here to use the skills he had given us. 1 as physical therapists, 2, our experience through sports, just to make more of him here. Our plan is to have a clinic in the church to serve people on our team, people who are able to physically and financially come to us to help their physical needs, but more importantly, their spiritual needs. Pray with patients, share the gospel with them, invite them into church, which I feel like is the reason that God has given us the skills that he has. Our heart is also to go to the people that can't get to us, the people that don't have access to good medical care and don't have access to the gospel. Our heart is to go to them in the same way, use our skills to help them physically, but also pray with them and share the gospel with them to give them spiritual healing that ultimately is above all else.
One of these neighborhoods is called the Envy neighborhood, and our home church, EBAM, has recently planted a chapel there. It's a small church service that takes place on Sunday nights, and they have a Bible study on Thursday nights as well. And they walk around and invite people from the community to come to a home that's there that they're renting. They sit in a garage, they pull out plastic chairs, they worship, they study the Bible, and they just do community together. So we're hoping to start going to this community through this chapel plant and serve the people. We want to be consistent in our medical care. We want them to know that we're coming and we're going to be back. So we're really dreaming and praying about maybe going there 1 day a week, setting up a clinic space in the church, and just being available to the people. We can serve them medically, and we can use our skills as physical therapists, but we also are looking just to engage with the kids and play with them in the parking lots and be in the street and just share the hope and love of Jesus. So please pray along with us for that opportunity, for that neighborhood and for other neighborhoods where we can begin to serve medically, but also just share the hope of Christ as well.
I grew up playing sports. I love sports. I love working with kids. That is one thing that I'm so excited about doing here, specifically with baseball. Baseball is such a huge part of my story growing up. It was my life growing up. And it took God taking baseball away from me and me running to so many other things to find my identity for me to understand that. But thank God he came back to me. He was waiting for me. He redeemed my life, number one, but also redeemed my relationship with baseball to a point where I'm excited to be able to use that here as an opportunity to point to him. Almost every boy that grows up in the Dominican Republic has the dream of playing in the major leagues one day. But so many times, so many kids, the majority of kids don't make it. And they give up school, they give up education, they give up their life for baseball. And then at 16, 17 years old, baseball is gone and they have literally nothing to fall back on. Their identity is so wrapped up in baseball that they don't even know where to turn. And my heart is to share that God has them. Their identity can be in Christ and not in baseball, and that is all that they need. I've been going with the pastor from the church to visit the baseball academy once a week, and we've been able to grow relationships with them, share scripture with them, and encourage them. And I'm hoping to implement an injury prevention program through physical therapy to help the team. So many times these kids get injured, and because everything in their life hangs on baseball, once they're injured, sometimes baseball's over immediately. And they have no education, they have nothing to fall back on. So even just the opportunity to implement an injury prevention program to hopefully cut down on these injuries, to not only allow them to play baseball longer and enjoy what they're doing, but just an opportunity to love them as Christ would love them.
I'm serving with Mercy Workshop, a women's rescue ministry here in the Dominican Republic that provides a safe place and a job for women who need to get off the streets. This organization is really close to my heart because as a mom, I understand how hard it is to love and care for your kids, but I have no idea the different circumstances that these women come from. These women are being moms, and for us as an organization to have an opportunity to go into the streets and love on these women and share their stories and encourage them has been really amazing and eye-opening for me. We go and we invite these women into the church. We invite them to be part of a program that loves them, that honors them, that provides a job and a way for them to provide for their families. They come each day to the workshop, and there's usually a devotion. There are people there to welcome them, and then they work. And their work in the workshop is making jewelry. Most of that jewelry is sold in the States for a profit, and that profit is what keeps the workshop open and running. More and more women are growing in their faith and getting baptized and even sticking around and serving within the ministry. They're helping us lead other women just like them to Christ. They're showing them the fruits of a life that is grounded in faith. Another way we're serving here through sports is through a youth soccer league. We've had so much fun coaching a team of 6, 7, and 8-year-olds. Our daughter is playing on our team, Mills, and she has had a blast and learned and grown so much. Our son Madden is actually also playing, but on another team. He wanted to be with a different coach. But watching them grow and learn in soccer has been so much fun, as well as watching them learn and grow again in their faith. So through this soccer league, we are teaching skills of soccer and logistics and how to play the game. But more than that, we're spending time teaching them the overlap between sports and the Bible, and how so much of what we learn and talk about in the Bible is about our attitude and changing our lives to look like Jesus, and how that means our lives look different on the soccer field, in the streets, in the grocery store, wherever we are. So it's been really cool to use soccer to engage the kids and have fun, but also share principle and truths from the Bible and talk through how those overlap with a sport such as soccer. So how can you get involved? Our prayer is that God in some way will tug at your hearts to help us serve here in the Dominican Republic. You can pray. We need all the prayer that we can get. So if you would commit to praying for us daily or weekly, that would be huge. You can become a financial partner, either by monthly donations or a one-time gift, and you can come. We have mission teams coming often every year. So if you would like to get on a mission trip, we would love to have you. One thing we are planning for and praying through is having medical teams come one day. So if you are a medical professional wanting to use your skills overseas, we would love for you to follow along and stay in touch. We would love to have you join one of those medical trips. We also have other teams who come, short-term mission teams. We would love for you to come and see firsthand where your donation is going and how God is working and using those things here.
Some other ways we would love for you guys to be praying for us. One is just protection for our family, spiritual protection from the enemy. We realize being here and doing what we're doing, it's a constant struggle. Also, just endurance. Living cross-culturally and doing ministry is hard. We just need prayer just to endure each day, that God would give us the strength to get through each day and that He would work through our weakness. Also, one other huge prayer request is we would ask you to please pray for building and growing relationships with Dominicans here in San Pedro. The culture here, Caribbean, Latin culture, is so relational. The more relationships we are able to build, the more time we're able to put into relationships, the more opportunities we're going to have to share the love of Christ and speak life and share life with other people here.